What's happening, everyone? Chris Beans here with Bowler's Rant, bringing you some breaking news from Storm Bowling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Okay, this is fresh off the press. You know what we do around here. There are two new updates from Storm coming stateside. Let's take a look at them now. All right, brand new lines, and that gets me all kinds of excited. On the left, the NOVA, and on the right, the SPECTRE. Okay, one of these is asymmetric, one of these is symmetric, and there's some very, very interesting specs going on, and we are going to dive into that right now. Over to the interwebs. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on here. Okay, got two new balls, and we're going to start with the NOVA. Okay, so this is interesting, right? Really interesting logo. Let's just take a look at the swirl patterns here. Looking pretty good so far. Very interesting, pour. And this is a Premier Line ball, okay? So this is going to be top shelf. This is, and their fragrance is cherry apple slush. Interesting is that it's got R2X hybrid cover, okay? And it's coming at 3,000 grit. And it's got a brand new core, okay? So this is the ignition core. And let's just take a sweep here. I believe we've seen this core in some of the overseas balls before, but it absolutely is an asymmetric core. So real quick, let's just formally go through the specs. This ball has the R2X hybrid reactive cover stock, and it has the ignition core, 3,000 grit Abalone. The color, hot pink, lime, and jet black. And the fragrance is cherry apple slush. And the number's at 15 pounds, 2.49 RG with a .052 differential and a .019 asymmetric differential. So there's a lot to talk about here. So first of all, this ball is asymmetric and it comes with surface and it's a hybrid. So what that typically means is something that's going to be a step up from like your benchmark solid, but it's still going to be versatile to use on a variety of different conditions, okay? Because it does come with 3000 surface. And the nice thing about 3000 surface is that you're going to get a nice blend of length, but also friction, so you can play in a variety of different situations. Okay, so the layout's going to be key. R2X hybrid, this is something that's a little bit stronger than your standard R2S. It's one of my favorite cover stocks, notably has been a variety of different balls. I think it was on the Marvel Pearl. That was one of my favorite balls. And these numbers, 249, so it's fairly, low RG. It's got a fair amount of flare and a fair amount of differential. So you're going to definitely see a move to the back. And on the Storm website, they've got a link to the video. It's not up yet because I'm just now recording this. So when you come down here, you're going to see that there are three different motions. So here's the motion for the stroker, kind of bowling up 10. Nice little arc, okay? And here is the motion for the tweener. A little bit more further out, but it does come back, okay? And then here's the motion for the cranker, playing all the way left, and then boom to the back. It's not a sideways boom. It looks like more of a late elliptical arc, but something like this that isn't going to just move completely uncontrollably is going to make the high revers very, very happy. And I'm going to say that I think the reaction I like the best so far is the tweener reaction, because that's where a lot of the people on league conditions are finding themselves in. Okay, so this is going to be a really good house shot killer. And of course, play with the surface. You're going to be able to do this on a sports shot as well, because that is what this ball is all about. It is about performance. Okay, next up, the SPECTRE. So this is their newest symmetrical pearl bowling ball. Let's take a look, take a tour. Really like this pour. Looking fantastic. Storm always knows what they're doing with the shelf appeal. And they're saying a few things about this ball. It's going to ignore the heads, especially when they get worn and dry late in the day. And you can expect it to turn the corner and charge aggressively into the pocket, carrying the corner pin. So basically what they're saying is this is probably going to be a very late reaction and something that you're going to use to ball down to when you're getting into some transition. So looks like it's got R3S, 1500 grit polished. And of course, we've got this core here. This is the cutting edge vector core. If you notice, this looks like it's related to the previous core called I think it was the tensor core, but this one is symmetrical. So let's jump into the specs real quick. So this ball has R3S Pearl Reactive cover stock, and it features the Vector Core, 1500 grit polished. The color, Crimson Iron, got to tell you, like the color on that. The fragrance, Candy Cane Cookie. And the number's at 15 pounds, 2.54 RG with a .050 differential. So with symmetrical pearls that typically go long, this is something that a lot of people are either going to do one of two things. They're going to typically use this on a condition where there's a lot of friction, and a lot of times people will scuff a ball like this to get away from the typical over-under that you get with a highly polished ball, so that they can use it in a variety of conditions. Or if they like the shine, they typically are going to use this to ball down from when you've got something like a symmetrical solid or an asymmetrical solid or sanded hybrid, where you need to clear the heads, as it talks about in the documentation here. So again, this ball at 254 RG, it's medium high RG, so it's definitely gonna go a little bit before it starts up. But at 050 differential, that's still a fair amount of differential, and that's why you're gonna get the reaction you get. Here's a tour of the core. Again, looks like something more alien futuristic like. Storm is not short in that category. And let's go down to the reactions. Let's take a look at what we're doing here. Here's the stroker. So again, very, very clean. And then there's the move to the pocket. Here's the tweener, playing about 4th arrow. Boom. There it is. And then here's the cranker, playing 5th arrow. There's the very late arc into the pocket. Balls like this are sometimes going to be something that will not be forgiving if you underthrow it and it sees friction. It is going to go sideways because it's going to be responsive to friction. And R3S is more a stronger cover stock than R2S. And notably, it was my favorite on the Intense Fire. Okay, so both these balls looking really good. And it looks like if I'm looking at both of them, the universal release date is going to be January 14th. Let's circle back to the shelf appeal. Okay, so we're talking about design intent here of looks. I got to tell you, I really like the NOVA logo. Okay, it's new, it's bold, and it really just kind of looks really futuristic. So, this thing just screams performance, and I really like that pour. However, and there's a big however here, while I like the logo better on the NOVA, I got to say I like the pour better on the Spectre. I just think it looks like something like a paint job you'd find on a really futuristic looking car. And it's going to really look good as it's going down the lane. As I indicated, the universal release date for these balls is January 14th, 2022. And if you want to learn more about these balls, where you can pick them up, I've got links in the description where you can find these on bowlersmart.com. Woo! Lots of great information there. So, what do you think of the NOVA? And what do you think of the Spectre? If you were to get one of these, what layout would you go with? Drop me a comment, let me know. Let's continue the conversation. More updates are coming, and until then, bow well.